Harsh. Morning to all our viewers as well. It's been a mixed kind of handover that we are getting because the US has seen some cuts coming in. Asia, on the other hand, has opened largely mixed this morning. Taking you through what the US markets have done. Wall Street yesterday, Dow Jones was lower by 0.6%. The S&P 500 was lower by about 0.2. Nasdaq was absolutely flat because some of the tech-related stocks have done well. For example, Apple, those shares were up 2%. So Apple is a stock that did well yesterday. You've got a bunch of other tech stocks that have done well, and that has kept the Nasdaq absolutely flat. And that's the kind of handover that we're getting from the US. The biggest casualty in the US rather was the broader end of the market because there was a cut of the 0.7% on the Russell 2K index. So that is something that you should be watching out for, and that is largely the handover coming in from the US. Of course, we'll be going through the comments coming in, and the other big action that the US has imposed a few hours ago. They've imposed fresh 50% tariffs on a lot of Canadian goods like cars. You've got chocolates, for example, alcohol, cheese, and a lot of other categories where this fresh 50% tariff has been imposed by the US on Canada. So that is another talking point about the US. Shifting focus then, taking a look at what the European markets have done. The stock 600 was lower by about 0.3%. DAX was absolutely flat, CAC flat as well. FTSE was the one to talk about because UK has got a new Prime Minister. Andy Burnham has become the new Prime Minister at 10 Downing Street, and on the back of that, you've seen a 0.7% cut coming in on the FTSE. And yes, that's the kind of move that we're seeing from the UK market as well as all of Europe. Let's shift focus then and take a look at how Asia has opened this morning. Mixed moves coming in because you've got Australia, Hang Seng as well as Shanghai that's under pressure. Hang Seng is absolutely flat. In fact, just a little bit of pressure over there. But it's the Nikkei that you should be watching out for because remember, yesterday the Japanese markets were closed, and on Friday, Nikkei saw a drop down of 4% on an intraday basis. So that turnaround is on its way right now. It's almost 2% higher. 65,255 is where the Nikkei is. Remember, the all-time high is 72,000. So lots of legroom for Nikkei to reach that all-time high mark once again. That's the kind of handover that we're getting on the equity front. Let's also shift focus and tell you what commodities have been up to. For oil, we're seeing a 0.3% cool off on the WTI front. 82.9, so almost $83 a barrel is where WTI is. Brent continues to stay comfortably below that $90 a barrel mark. 88.6 is where Brent is, and we've seen a cool off of about 0.7% on the Brent index as well. Let's also take a look at what the precious metals have been up to, and a little bit of an uptick on those indexes because 0.5% higher for gold, and above that $4,000 an ounce is where gold is. Silver's also seen an uptick of about 0.3%, and that's the kind of move that we're seeing over there. $57.2 an ounce is where silver is. Now that sums up all the updates that we were seeing on the equity and the commodity front. Just taking you through some of the global comments that we've been tracking as well. The US Central Command has said that forces have begun a new round of strikes against Iran and strikes to degrade Iran's attack on Hormuz shipping. They've also said that they've completed yet another round of strikes against Iran, and they've targeted Iran's command centers, air defense systems and drone sites. And commercial vessel transits are vital at this time, and they have helped a transit of 450 million crude oil barrels since early May, and forces are ready to counter unwarranted Iranian aggression when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. That's the word coming in from the US Central Command. Of course, we've got some comments coming in from US President Donald Trump as well. You've also heard him saying that this military attack was ordered as a repercussion or as a revenge for the troops of the US that were killed in the strikes. And other than that, also listen in to what Donald Trump had to say about Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney.